Stop doing this one thing because it's quietly keeping you on the wrong timeline. You're making decisions as the old you, the version built from other people's expectations, and then wondering why your life feels like a loop. If your days feel scripted, if your wins feel accidental, that's a sign. A parallel version of you is already living the outcome you keep postponing, and you're ignoring their signal. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a perspective problem. You are standing in a corridor of doors, and the only reason nothing changes is because you keep touching the same handle. Parallel selves aren't fantasy. They're a practical model for behavior. Different choices, compounded over time, become different yous. The question isn't, do they exist? The question is, which one are you rehearsing today? Every glitch you notice, deja vu, repeating setbacks, why does this always happen to me? Isn't proof you're cursed. It's your nervous system telling you your actions and your identity are out of sync. When identity lags, behavior loops. When identity updates, behavior upgrades. Most people try to change goals while keeping the same self. That never lasts. Pause here. Ask a harder question. Which version of me made the last 5 decisions? The impulsive me? The fearful me? The performer me? Or the quiet, exact, future me who makes clean choices even when no one watches? If you can't name the chooser, you're not choosing. You're reenacting. Clarity starts when you label the operator, name the version. Then you can replace it. There's a simple map for switching timelines. Perception, pattern, protocol. Perception is awareness without drama. Start with a micro-audit. For 72 hours, track only first choices. First food, first click, first response, first thought about yourself in the mirror. Don't judge, just log. Those tiny decisions are coordinates. They reveal which version of you is currently driving. If the first click is always distraction, that's aversion. If the first word you say to yourself is critical, that's aversion. See it, stamp it, don't personalize it. Pattern is recognition. Notice the loops that keep you orbiting the same outcomes. It's almost always the same 3. Convenience over clarity, speed over standards, pleasing over truth. These aren't personality traits. They're timeline anchors. Replace just one anchor and you'll feel the floor tilt. If you pick clarity over convenience for 1 week, you'll see meetings, food, and sleep reorganize themselves. Protocol is action that locks in a new identity. Most people overcomplicate this. You only need 3 moves. Move 1. The 1-degree rule. Do the smallest version you cannot not do. If the future you reads 40 pages, read 4. If the future you runs 10K, walk for 10 minutes. If the future you leads with candor, give 1 direct sentence today. This is not about progress. It's about proof. The brain updates identity through evidence, not intention. Move 2. The identity echo. Before any decision, ask, how would the me who already did this answer? Speak the answer out loud. Then do that. You're not pretending. You're borrowing a script from a parallel self who already paid the cost. Echo it until it becomes yours. Move 3. The environment lock. Remove 1 friction and add 1 affordance in every room you use daily. Shoes by the door, water on the desk, phone in another room, timer next to the couch. Your space should make the right action the easy one and the wrong action slightly annoying. Identity is a function of context. Design the context. Wait, If this is so simple, why doesn't everyone switch? Because the old timeline bribes you. It offers certainty, approval, and the dull comfort of almost. It whispers, later. Later is the language of the wrong you. The right you speaks in schedules, not feelings. When you hear later, translate it to never and act now. Let's make this real. In 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you to choose between two experiments. One is comfortable and slow. One is uncomfortable and fast. But first, understand this. Nothing mystical is required to change timelines. You don't have to manifest a portal. You only have to become incompatible with your past. When your standards no longer fit old habits, the old timeline ejects you. Ready? Experiment A, the slow switch. For 7 days, you replace one anchor behavior at the same time each day. Same cue, same action, same log. No skip days, no negotiation. Example, at 7 a.m., you write for 10 minutes. At 12:30, you walk for 10 minutes. At 9:30 p.m., you put the phone in another room. It's small by design. It builds proof, not pride. Experiment B, the hard switch. For 48 hours, you live entirely as the done version. Clothes, calendar, language, posture, standards. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You ask, what would already done me do? Then you do it. You speak slower. You eat cleaner. You leave earlier. You finish one thing at a time. It will feel fake for 6 hours. Then it will feel like relief because you finally stopped arguing with yourself. Whichever you choose, stack these pitfalls to avoid. Pitfall 1, fishing for permission. If you need unanimous support to switch, you won't switch. Your new timeline threatens other people's equilibrium. That's normal. Expect pushback in the form of jokes. You've changed. Or last-minute invitations that break your schedule. Translate all of it as, the system is adjusting. Pitfall 2, ceremonial overhauls. You don't need a perfect morning routine before you start. The best routine is the first action you execute today. Rituals are great. Results are better. Keep the first habit insultingly small. Pitfall 3, secret effort. Tell one person, not for accountability theater, but for clarity. For the next 7 days, I'm operating as future me. Expect cleaner no's and quieter yeses. When you say it out loud, you commit your nervous system. Let's talk symptoms. When you finally align with the right you, you'll feel two things at once, intensity and ease. Intensity, because standards rise. Ease, because the arguments go quiet. You will stop negotiating whether to do the thing. You'll simply do it. That silence is not boredom. It's power. The brain loves fewer options when your identity is clear. But there's a test most people fail: success tolerance. You've trained your nervous system to expect struggle. When results come quickly, you might sabotage to recreate familiar friction. You'll complicate simple plans, pick fights, or add unnecessary tasks. Watch for this. When you catch yourself adding difficulty, say out loud, old timeline tactic. Then remove one step and continue. Simplicity is not laziness, it's mastery. There's also a grief nobody mentions. You will lose versions of you that once kept you safe. The comedian who deflected, the caretaker who overgave, the perfectionist who delayed. They did their job. Thank them. Retire them. Then promote the builder, the finisher, the steward. Roles shift when timelines shift. Now, let's give your parallel self a steering wheel. Use the 3-3-3 alignment once a day, same time. 3 words. Name the identity you're embodying today. Exact, patient, relentless, or calm, precise, kind. Write them on paper, not your phone. Pen anchors promise. 3 moves. List the 3 smallest, undeniable actions the done version completes today. Send proposal draft. 15-minute skill practice. 30 minutes deep cleanup. Make each so specific it can be checked as done without debate. 3 refusals. Write 3 things you will not do today because they belong to the wrong timeline. No scrolling before noon. No yes without a date attached. No work after 9. Refusals protect results. Do that for 7 days. You'll feel the rails click. You'll recognize the sound of your life changing. Quieter mornings, fewer tabs, cleaner exits. The present will feel heavier, in a good way. Here's a practical filter to choose actions. If it looks impressive, but doesn't create evidence, skip it. Evidence is anything your future self can point to and say, I did that. A finished page, a sent email, a completed workout, a hard conversation scheduled. If your task list is full of vague verbs, optimize, brainstorm, explore, translate them into visible outputs. Parallel you isn't inspired, they're specific. Let's zoom out. Think of timelines like radio stations. All of them are broadcasting now. You don't create the station by wanting it. You tune to it by behaving at its frequency. The frequency of your highest self is consistency, integrity, and standards. That's it. No mystery language, no perfect crystals, no ceremonial playlist required. Those can be supportive, but they are not the signal. The signal is what you do at the first friction point of your day. About friction, design the first 90 minutes. Front-load one identity action before the world makes requests. If you have kids, job, chaos, fine. Make it 20 minutes. But make it protected. This is the hour that tells the rest of the day who's driving. If you give it away, you'll perform for other people's timelines. If you protect it, you'll pilot your own. Let's add a midday reset. At lunch, run the 2-line audit. What did I do that created evidence? And what did I do that created noise? Evidence stays. Noise gets eliminated tomorrow. This 5-minute review converts vague days into measured experiments. When days become experiments, guilt disappears. You're iterating, not failing. Evenings matter too. Future you goes to bed a little bored. No crisis, no last-minute adrenaline, no midnight scrolling. Bored is holy. Bored is the quiet room where the parallel self can speak. Protect it. If you struggle to power down, set a wind down alarm and obey it. The wrong timeline thrives on just one more. The right timeline ends on purpose. Let's touch on relationships. When you switch timelines, dynamics shift. Some people love the upgraded you because your clarity helps them grow. Others feel threatened because your boundaries remove their shortcuts. You don't have to explain your entire philosophy. Offer one sentence. I'm experimenting with higher standards this month. Then live it. Explanation invites debate. Demonstration ends it. Money? Apply the same framework. 3-3-3 for finances. 3 words, for example, simple, cash-rich, patient. 3 moves, automate savings, pay 1 nagging bill, send 1 offer. 3 refusals, no impulse purchases, no unpaid scope, no vague coffee chat without purpose. You'll feel the same floor tilt. Parallel you is not richer by accident. They're quieter, clearer, and they keep promises to themselves. Health? 1 degree rule again. If you haven't trained in months, don't reform your life. Do 6 push-ups, drink water, walk. Tomorrow do 7. The body loves honest progression. Future you respects gravity and sleep. Respect them now. Creativity? Stop waiting for a giant block of free time. Use the 15-minute forge. Timer on. Work ugly. No polishing. Save. Stop. That's evidence. Repeat 5 days, and you'll outrun past you who needed the perfect mood. What about signs from the universe? Treat them as assignments, not absolution. A repeating number on a receipt doesn't fix your standards. A vivid dream doesn't do your reps. Still, there's a real pattern you'll notice when you commit. Improbable help appears. The email you were waiting for, the person who introduces you, the idea that lands while you're washing dishes. Don't romanticize it, and don't ignore it. Respond fast. Speed is a language the new timeline understands. Let's clean up self-talk. Replace "I am trying" with "I am selecting." You're not trying to become someone new. You're selecting from a menu of yous and feeding one of them daily. The version you feed is the life you live. Don't feed the critic with attention. Don't feed the procrastinator with loopholes. Feed the finisher with proof. When fear spikes, don't negotiate with it. Use the two-step neutralizer, label it anticipatory fear, and assign a move under 2 minutes. Send the email, pack the bag, open the dock. Action shrinks fear's oxygen. Then you can make a sober decision. Courage is not dramatic, it's procedural. Here's a maintenance loop for the next month. Weekly, pick one identity word to emphasize and one anchor to remove. Announce it to yourself Sunday night. Put it on the calendar. Daily morning. One identity action before inputs. Midday. 2-line audit. Evening. Wind down alarm. Phone away. Plan tomorrow's 3 moves. That's it. Systems that are too smart fail. Systems that are boring survive. Survival becomes momentum. If you stumble, and you will, recover fast. The wrong timeline tries to convince you that a bad day equals a bad identity. Not true. Use the now or next rule. Can you do 1 honest minute now? If not, schedule the next exact window. Shame hates specificity. Calendars heal it. If you're hearing a quiet thought right now, this could actually be me, good. Don't let that voice get drowned by the chorus that says, "Not yet." Not yet is the password to your old life. Replace it with, "Start small now." Here's a final reframe. Identity is not who you are. It's what you repeatedly prove. Prove a new thing, repeatedly, and you'll wake up one morning feeling like the future you snuck into your body overnight. It didn't. You just fed it long enough to take the wheel. So choose. Build tiny proof. Borrow the script. Lock the room. Protect the boring. Respond fast to help. And when the old timeline knocks, let it knock. You're busy. If this message landed, remember this space exists for people like you. Quiet builders, modern mystics, practical seekers. You don't need louder motivation. You need cleaner identity. That's the work we do here. Subscribe to Awaken the Deep. Share this with one person who's stuck on yesterday's version of themselves. And drop the phrase, "new timeline loading," in the comments so I know you're in.